perk your ears up and pay attention because soon you're gonna have to decipher the meaning of yada bada and budga and know exactly what it means. Your little chatterbox is extremely cute as they are just soaking up the sounds and the tones and the language of what they're gonna use to make their first words. You play a big role in that, and we are here to help. Hi, and welcome to In the Know Milestones, a show for parents by parents, where we delve into the best advice and products to help you raise your little ones. Today we are speaking with Kristen Morita, a speech pathologist and mother of two, who is here to walk us through your baby's first words and so much more. Hi, Kristen, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm lovely. Thank you for being with us today on In the Know Milestones. If you could just quickly, let us know about yourself, introduce yourself, and what your background is.
My name is Kristen Morita. I am a pediatric speech-language pathologist, and that's just the official title for a speech therapist. And I worked in early intervention speech therapy for a few years, and now I work at an elementary school.
First, I want to jump in and say, or ask, what the importance is of talking to your baby and how early.
Talking to your baby is actually how they learn language. So every time you talk to your baby, you're giving them a model for what language is supposed to sound like. You can even be talking from before they're born because they can hear your voice when they're still in the womb. And then, just like you said, from the moment they're born, you can be talking to them.
Any specific way you should be talking to your child?
There's not one way that you have to do it, but one way that research has shown that kids really like is what we call parentese, or infant-directed speech. And what that means is it's a way of talking with a higher pitch, slower rate, and exaggerated sounds. So for example, instead of just saying, look, there's a dog, you can say, look, there's a dog. And it's really natural. A lot of parents just naturally do it.
When should we expect baby to start talking?
So the milestone would be at 12 months saying one word. And that could be a sign. It doesn't have to be a verbal word. Before they can say a word, you would expect them to understand a whole bunch. And they should be probably doing a few gestures. Seek help if they miss a milestone and you're not seeing any of those building blocks. Definitely talk to your pediatrician.
How important is reading to speech development, and how and when should you introduce books to your child?
Reading is really, really, really great for language development. Every exposure that they get to books is teaching them that reading is fun. It exposes them to letters, to writing. Some books specifically that I like to recommend would be books that are simple and kind of go through things that are familiar for the kids. So for example, I have one right here. It's called Llama, Llama, Wakey Wake, and there's also Llama, Llama, Nighty Night. And this goes over the routines that your kid probably does during the morning and during the nighttime. So brushing your teeth, using the potty, putting on pajamas, things like that. Another book that I recommend is It Takes Two to Talk. And this book is considered the holy grail of speech therapy books. So it's written specifically for parents of children with language delays, but it works for all children.
What are some things to avoid when getting them, to their speech and getting them, comfortable with using their words?
Honestly, the biggest thing to avoid is screen time. I know it's super hard and there's screens everywhere. So instead of screen time, one thing that we do recommend is to get more time in creative play. So that would be things like dramatic play, role play. For example, I really like this Melissa and Doug pediatric nurse role play set. It comes with a baby and a bunch of medical tools. And so someone could be the nurse and someone could be the parent. And you can talk about different body parts. You can ask, where's the owie? You can talk about where should we give the medicine.
What would you give as one helpful piece of advice for, new parents that are navigating this new milestone?
Honestly, I would say go with your intuition because kind of like how we talked in the beginning, the idea of parentese and what's good for your child and talking to your child, it's natural and it happens all over the world without an expert telling you this is how to make your child talk. Do not be afraid to ask for help and reach out to a speech therapist or your pediatrician.
Thank you so much, Kristen, for being with us today on In the Know Milestones.
Thanks, Joni.
Thanks again to Kristen and all of you for joining us on In the Know Milestones. We'll see you next time.